Hello everyone, you are watching Life Education for Teens. Today we will be walking through how to change a tire, check your oil, and fill up your gas tank. First, you want to open this cover to access the tools, the jack, and the spare tire. Once you have removed the tools and the jack, you want to unscrew the lock that is keeping the spare tire in place. Move the spare tire, the jack, and the tools to the tire that you will be replacing. Before beginning jacking, place an object, whether it's a rock or a plank of wood, in front of and behind one of the back tires to prevent it from rolling while you are working on the car. The last step before beginning to jack up the car is to loosen each of the lug nuts holding the tire in place. You must do this before jacking up the car because the force you are exerting on the tire could cause the car to slip off of the jack. Once you have loosened each of the bolts, you want to make sure that you place the jack under a solid part of the frame. Your owner's manual is a good area to find what point of the car you should be jacking. You should stop jacking the car once the tire is about 1 inch above the ground. Now that the car is fully jacked, you want to take off each of the lug nuts that is holding the tire in place. Now that each of the lug nuts have been removed, go ahead and remove the flat tire. Grab the spare tire and position it so that the studs line up with the holes on the spare. You should begin by screwing in the bottom lug nut as it will keep the tire in place as you screw in the rest of the lug nuts. Once each of the lug nuts is finger tight, you can go ahead and tighten them until they're snug with the wrench. Now that the tire is firmly held in place, go ahead and lower the jack. Once the car is no longer resting on the jack, remove the jack from under the car. Now that your car is no longer on the jack, go ahead and further tighten each of the lug nuts. Since you are done with your flat tire, place it in the trunk of your car. Place your jack as well as the tools into the trunk of your car as well. The final step is to remove the objects that you put around your back tire. Make sure you do not exceed the speed limit on highways while you are driving on a spare tire.
Next we have how to check the level of oil in your engine block. So a light will come around there, little oil light. And then what you're going to want to do is stop your car and pop the hood. There'll be some level or lever anywhere inside of your car. And you're going to want to walk over to your engine. You want to pop the hood, pick up the little lever over here, make sure it's nice and locked in so it doesn't hit you on the head. You can go over to your engine block over here, pull the little lever over here. So you want to get a paper towel, wipe it down. After you wipe it down, you're going to want to put it back in gently. Pull it back out. And as long as the oil is above that dimple right there, you know your oil's nice and full. If it's under it, you're gonna need an oil change.
Lastly, we're going to learn how to fill up your gas tank. The first thing you want to do is turn off your car. Once you've done that, you want to look below your steering wheel, and there should be a little tab here you can push down to open the gas compartment. Next, you want to unscrew the gas lid. Make sure it's all the way off before you begin pumping. Next, you're going to choose your form of payment. You can either do cash, which typically you go inside and pay, or you can use a card like I do here. Once you've paid, you can take out the nozzle and choose which type of gas you'd like to use. There's 3 different forms. Typically I go with the first one, which is unleaded. Then you put the nozzle in. You can hold that. You can push a little tab down as well if you don't want to hold it, but I like to hold it instead. And you wait until the gas clicks, and then when it's done, it'll click. You take it out. I like to tap it a couple times to make sure all the excess gas gets into the car. Put the nozzle back in, and you can choose if you want a receipt or not. I choose no here. And finally, you can put the gas lid back on. Make sure it clicks once or twice. I like to do 2 times just to be safe. And once it's clicked back in, you can push that, and that's all there is to it.